Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing well. I want to talk today about what's going on in the markets, and I think people need to keep realizing that the markets are changing dynamically, and just because you see the Dow Jones right now as I'm doing this up a couple hundred points doesn't mean you're out of the woods, because things are coming crashing down fast, right? And people are trying to find yield. They're gambling with their 401ks. Everybody's speculating. It's literally like the roaring 20s right before everything came crashing down. If you look at a stock chart of the Dow Jones, the year of 2008, as it was trending down, just remember it was doing it like this. So the stocks are going up a few hundred points, down a few hundred, up, down, like, you know, it was doing this. And that's what you're seeing right now. Today, Beyond Meat announced they're laying off 19% of its workforce. And to be honest with you, anyone that would eat things from Beyond Meat is beyond me, but hey, some people are vegetarians, cool. But really, if you think about it, it's a sign of the times, right? Things that are from Beyond Meat are more expensive. People are purchasing cheaper foods because they have less money. And I'm going to get into another story that proves that right now. But people don't have as much money, disposable income today as they did last year or the year before, because inflation is raging and is going to get worse. So people need to realize that. But they look at the stock market prices, or they look at the price of their house, and they're very deceived, because as the economy is collapsing right now, because I've been telling you guys that we're going to see more and more layoffs, right? And it's not just because of a failed product, right? That people just don't want plant-based things that look like meat. Sorry, it's just not my thing. It's more than that. It's because margins are shrinking for these companies. Check this out. Consumer spending was flat in September and below expectations as inflation takes toll. Well, you know what the next, so it's flat, right? It's not growing. You know what the next sign is, because we've now plateaued in consumer spending? It's negative. They're going to be dropping. Numbers are going to be dropping. It says retail and food services sales in total were little changed in September against the estimate for a 0.3% gain. Not even a 1%, right? A 0.3% gain. So now it's flat. Now that's food services and retail. Okay, excluding autos, of course, excluding autos, stupid over MSRP prices. Sales rose 0.1% versus the estimate for spending to be unchanged. The numbers are not adjusted for inflation, indicating that consumer spending slowed. This is a fact. Every single one, and please put down in the comment section below if you've been hit by inflation and you have less money to go out and eat the same cuts of meat that you are used to eating. And people don't realize that. The transition from beef to chicken, that simple move, and then from chicken to pork usually, right? Because you're looking for those lower prices. Actually, pork's a little more expensive than chicken, but you get my point. People just consciously make those decisions. Actually, I unconsciously, a lot of the times, but I've done it myself, where I'm at the grocery store, I'm like, I'm not paying $12 a pound for a ribeye. I love ribeyes. But I'm like, well, you know what? The New Yorks are on sale, so I'll go down to that. Or, you know, hey, it's between beef or chicken. I go, they got chicken at 99 cents, so I'm going to buy that. And that's really important for people to realize. The consumer is changing its spending habits wildly right now before your eyes. And they're actually doing it at a breakneck pace because inflation is moving at a breakneck speed. All right? So I think that's very important to understand. The other thing, too, is, like I said, they're plateauing right now. We're flattening out. Next is later in this fall, you're going to see the numbers or the revisions. That's another thing too. You have to watch the revisions, because they'll put out these numbers, the headline numbers, and then they'll revise them like, we really got down to the data now and we had some time and it's actually worse. But those revisions aren't coming out as mainline, right? Very few people look at the revised numbers. Wall Street doesn't react very well to revised numbers. It's the big investment houses that are looking at these things, the big investors that look at these numbers, the revisions ago. It's like telling the future. Even though those are the real numbers from the past, they got revised down. They go, okay, I see where this is going and I'm going to move accordingly. And what's scary to me is that you're going to have a lot of bag holders. They already are, and they don't even know it. People that are trying to game the system, but then they don't get, they buy in. They go, hey, the market's going to move a little bit. I bought my stocks, and then they're out somewhere. I've seen this before. They don't have their trade set up properly, and the market turns really fast on them, and now they're back to, they were in the money, they're making a profit. All of a sudden they're flat, and they go, okay, I got to hold on a little bit longer and regain what I had, because in their mind they made that money even though they hadn't sold, and then the market has a downturn, now they're negative. And you're going to start seeing that more and more as retail numbers come out that are horrible, as home sale numbers come out that are horrible. It's going to turn the market, and the market, once it turns, because the majority of investors understand, okay, this is not good, it's going to happen fast. And so you want to be ahead of that and not worry about the day-to-day minutia. As the stock market's doing this and trending down, don't worry about those little spikes. Those little spikes, there are people like Johnny Bravo. He's got that course. I'll put a link below. If you want to learn technical analysis and trading, getting in and getting out, he's very good at it. The class is stellar. But the thing is most people don't have the knowledge because they don't pay the money for the courses or read the books and really try and hone that skill. I'm not one of those people. I set up businesses. I want to be an entrepreneur, and so that's where I make my money. And then I invest for the long haul. I invest for the bigger cycles, right? But you have to be really patient for that. Not a lot of people are that patient, I've learned. But the cool thing is, through channels like this and others, being able to share your experiences in not only, like me sharing my experiences with you, but also being able to read the comments from other people, boots on the ground, what's going on, what they're seeing. You get to learn like nobody ever has before through apps like this. YouTube blows me away. But it's just crazy as I look, and I want to go back really quick here and just give you a couple numbers that are blowing me away. And as of the recording of this, I'll put this video out just a few hours after recording this. Bond market right now is just, the 10-year is just about to crest 4%. It's at 3.975. That's amazing. That's putting so much pressure on mortgages, which are going to, again, take home sales and just crash the home sales. Oil right now, it's interesting, 87. The other day it was 93 bucks. Why is it 87? It's because investors are fearing a crash. They're actually saying, we believe we're going to see like a deflationary whirlwind hit because consumer spending is going to be so low, people aren't going to be out traveling and needing to consume that oil. That tells you something right there. Gold, down nominally, at 1656, silver 1843. But the story there is the premiums. It absolutely blows me away. The delivery times are extending out. The price over spot is so high compared to a few years ago. Why? Because there are so many people that are buying metals right now, taking them into their possession because they're starting to see the writing on the wall, and they're saying that dollar is inflating away rapidly. Just absolutely blows me away. So my point being here is this. As I close this up, I want you guys to be protected, but watch these things as more companies lay people off. And just scrolling through the news, it's absolutely blowing me away. Realize where we are, diversify, pay off debt, and get ready, because this is going to be a whirlwind we're going through. All right, guys, that being said, I thank you so much for watching. The Economic Ninja is out.